To go viral on TikTok, Reels, and Shorts. This is my top 10 tips on how to gain virality in 2023. So we're going to start with a strong hook. Now, the very first thing you need to do is to get somebody's attention, is to stop them from scrolling on. In the modern age, we all have many, many things to do. Our attention spans are getting less and less. And so we need to make sure that our content is starting with a strong hook to give people a reason to stick around. Now, one of the ways you can do that is to basically fulfill a promise. So you can say to them, I promise by the end of this video, you will have 10 top tips to help you to create viral videos. If you watch till the end, you get them all, and then you implement them. Okay, so that is my promise to you, if you like. So that's my hook for this video. So make sure you do stay to the end. Make sure you do stay engaged, because if you follow through with these 10 specific things, there's a very, very good chance that your content can go viral. Hi, my name is Matt, and these are just some of the viral videos that I've had that are in the millions. There's lots of different ways to go about doing this, and we're going to talk through some of these as we go. So not only do I do this for myself and for my businesses, I also run a consultancy where I help other people to learn how to do this as well. And we've had a great deal of success using this formula. Number 2 in this list is end with a strong call to action. Now, in this case, it's going to be subscribe, click the bell notification, join us as we go on this journey, because I'll be putting lots and lots more content up as we go along, which is really going to help you guys to grow your social media channels. Now, that strong call to action, depending on the platform, will depend on what it could be. It could be a click-through link into a product or a service. It could be something on short-form video along the lines of, hey, leave a comment. What do you think? What are your thoughts? Let me know. What we're looking to do with this is give a very specific next step to the people that are watching what you're doing. We all like to know what that next step is. And so we're going to take all of the mystery away from it, and we're going to tell them specifically in that piece of content. Now, it can be a great way to enhance watch time, because we can say, hey, check out this other video, check out what we've done here. It can be, as we say, that link in the comments. It can be go somewhere else and follow something like that. It could be comment on what we're talking about, start a conversation, start a dialogue. But all of these things can really, really help with us to grow our communities. So that's the second thing on this, end with a strong call to action. Now, this one is something that I recommend at the beginning, especially if you're a new creator, if you're new to the platform, if you're trying to grow organically on some of the platforms that you may not have used before. Then my recommendation is keep within 10 to 15 seconds. Now, we want to make sure that we're doing content that people are actually going to watch, because we want to keep them on till the end, because overall watch time is a key metric. That's one of the things that the algorithms look for to see whether or not your content is shareable and worth sending out to more people. So we want to make sure that we're doing that in the correct way. Now, if we can't hold somebody's attention for 10 to 15 seconds, we're really going to struggle to hold that attention for 2-3 minutes. So it's a really good skill. It's good because we're learning to create content that's punchy, that's sharp, but we're also learning to get that message across in a concise manner. So whatever it is we're trying to say, we're going to learn the skill of saying it in that short space of time. So at least at the start, keep it within that 10 to 15 second window. It's amazing that I even have to say this, but we're going to try and make it interesting. One of the things that we have to be careful of in this time is that, as we said earlier on, with regards to people's attention spans, people being sort of off doing lots of other things, we have to keep people engaged. So we need to make it interesting, and not just interesting in what we're delivering, although that is vitally important, but also interesting in how we edit, how we present that. Now, we can just go straight to camera. We can just say, hey, this is it. This is what we're doing. However, if we want to engage longer term, then we want to be adding some other elements to that as we go along. Now, it's great to start where you can begin. So if beginning means just doing straight to camera, not doing anything fancy, great, start there. But once you get going, once you start getting a feel for content creation, then you want to start looking to embed some other things within that. Now, that could be, adding text to the video. That's always a real good thing to do. There's lots of apps that'll do that for you. It can be things like picture in picture, or in this case, as we're doing, like a back screen. Okay, it can be things like jump cuts. So they say there's an average attention span of about 8 seconds. And after that, you should be reframing what you're doing. Now, I'm not doing that myself today because this is a longer form piece of content, and I'm hoping that you can sort of stick with me through that. But jump cuts on short form video is a great way to do it. So you can do things like change angles, different filters, different sizes, zoom in, zoom out. So all kinds of different edits that you can do to keep people engaged with what you're doing, to keep that reference shift constantly going on, so their brains and they're going, oh, something new, oh, something different, and it keeps them on the content for longer. The next one is use content that targets. So depending on what your outcomes are, now, are you trying to build a brand? Are you trying to build community? Do you have products and services to sell? Are you trying to position yourself as the expert in your space? Whatever those reasons are, you can leverage the content itself by targeting quite specifically what you're doing. And you can use things like places, events, communities, references to certain things. That could be something in the news, it could be current, it could be a television show, a book, any number of different things. But you can use content that targets. So as an example, if I wanted to say, attract people that were curious to learn about short form video and how to do that, then I could talk at length in various places in and around the subjects that are relevant. So that could be growing businesses, that could be social media, and I could tie that to places or events. So as an example, if there's a new launch, which I'm sure there will be soon on something, then we could talk about that particular launch, as we did when Facebook Reels came out and as we did when YouTube Shorts were first announced. That's big news, that's relevant news, and that's targeting specifically the kind of people that we want to talk to, that we want to reach out to. So use content that targets. So one of the mistakes that I see a lot of people make when I work with my clients, the first thing I do to them is I say, don't touch that camera. And what I mean by that is take some time, plan your content, figure out what it is you're going to do, structure it. There's lots of different elements to that. I'll do lots more videos as we go along about this sort of thing. But essentially, rather than just racing out in a fit of excitement, making 20 videos and then stalling and becoming uncommitted to the process because you're overwhelmed, or you've just run out of steam, or you've burnt out, or you've run out of ideas, right? Plan your content first. Sit down, think about what it is you're doing, have a look around what other people are doing, get some ideas together, start jotting all that down, and then work out a timetable. So the structure that I use is based on the success wheel formula for different think. This is what I teach my clients. This is the programming that I do with them. We sit down, we go through all of this before we start building out the actual content itself. And there are 10 content types that we use. There are 7 specific content types we use for TikTok as well. And then there are 7 types of storytelling, and we embed that within this 5-pillar framework that we use. So there are some other videos I've got. I'll try and link them down below in regards to content types, things like that. Have a look at my other videos on that to give you a better idea, and plan it out, structure it, do sort of a month in advance in regards to timetabling ideas. Try and film so that you have a block of content filmed ready to go, and you can just drop that in as you go along. So you're always a day or two ahead. And so if you have a bad day, if you have life that gets in the way, you've still got content that you can upload, and you can keep that level of consistency. Now we're going to talk about engagement. Now, when we talk about engagement, basically what we mean is interacting with your following, interacting with the people that interact with you. What you don't want to do is put out content and then just ignore it, because if somebody does come forward, if it does resonate, if they do want to connect, if they do want to talk to you, then the worst thing you can possibly do at that point is make them feel ignored, make them feel like they're not important. You need to nurture this community. You need to grow it. You need to help people to understand why they want to stick around. So we need to make friends. We need to build that rapport, build that audience, build that engagement. So if somebody comments, if somebody gets involved with what you're doing, if they comment, then comment back, answer them, ask them a question, find out about what it is. And it's a great way for you then to find other content ideas. Be consistent with what you're doing. Now, when we talk about consistency, different people believe sort of different things. Now, there's no denying that when you first start to build a profile on somewhere like TikTok, it's really, really important that we get a good deal of content up and we start interacting as quickly as possible. So when we're looking at this, then yes, we really want to be looking to put up 4 to 6 pieces of content a day, maybe even more, depending on what you're capable of. Now, obviously, we all have busy lives. Not all of us have a team of social media creators around us that we can utilize. So if it's just down to us, then it's much better that we establish a standard and a level that we can maintain. So there's no point in going forward and saying, I'm going to create 8 pieces of content a day, if what actually happens is I only manage that for 2 or 3 days, and then I slow right down, then I stop, then I post again in a few weeks' time, and I do another burst of 8 videos a day for a week. The better way to go about this is to create a system where you can consistently put what you can manage to do up. So if that's 2 a day, if that's what that looks like to you, or even 1 a day, great, do that. But make sure that you stay consistent with it. Make sure that your audience starts to get used to the idea that this is going to be coming at this schedule. Make sure the platforms get used to that idea that it's going to be coming at this schedule. And once the platforms get used to it, and once they understand that you can be relied upon to put new content out there, and you can be trusted that you're going to not disappear, then they will start pushing you more. They will start opening out your views to more people. So consistency is a really critical point into virality and into creating more and more content that has the possibility to go viral. Because of course, the more hooks you have in the water, shall we say, the more fish you're likely to catch. So more is better. However, more quality is better still. So you don't want to give up quality just to get stuff out there. You want to try and find that balance whatever that may look like for you, because it's going to be different for everybody. So think, what can I do that's quality that I can do consistently? And that is really going to be where you'll sit. The great news for us as content providers is that with the short form video growing at the rate that it is, it now covers 90% of all online traffic, which is enormous. So of course we want to be involved, and of course we want to be involved in the conversations where they're being held. So what that means for us is we really want to be sharing to multiple platforms. Now we can do that with single pieces of content. So if you make a short form video for, say, TikTok, there's absolutely no reason why you can't share that to Instagram and Facebook Reels and YouTube Shorts all at the same time, and you can have that same content going out. Now, I wouldn't necessarily recommend sending it out completely identical to all the platforms, because they do have different nuances, they do have different tastes, and you'll find that if you've got various platforms, quite often your audiences are slightly different on those platforms. So you do want to tailor it, if you're able, to whatever that platform preferences are. But overall, you can just put out more or less the same piece of content, and you can repurpose that time and time again. So share to multiple platforms. Make sure that you're leveraging that content to the best of your abilities. This brings us on to number 10. So this is my last tip for this particular video. And what I want to say is, give value. So make sure that you give value with what you're doing. Make sure that you're solving pains, you're answering questions, you're sharing your knowledge. Don't be afraid to give too much away, especially if you've got paid products, online courses, that sort of thing. You may be thinking, oh, well, I want to keep that for my paid audience. But without giving that value, without building that know, like, trust, without creating a situation where these people want to connect with you, then they're not going to travel through your funnels anyway. They're not going to come through that buyer's journey with you. So make sure that you give value, tell them as much as you possibly can, solve their pains, answer their questions, share your knowledge. When you do all of that, then your community will start to grow. More and more people will become your ambassadors. More and more people will share your stuff for you. And hopefully then that will start generating that sort of effect where it'll snowball and it will create that virality. So guys, if you've enjoyed this 10 tips, please do like and subscribe. But also, if you'd like, I have a free ebook that you can download, how to build your brand and business using short form video by someone that's actually doing it. It's completely free. I will drop the link in the comments below, and we'll see you on the next one.